What's up, everybody? It's Alex from Heavy New York. We are back at the Brooklyn Bazaar on this beautiful summer day. And today we are here with the front man of Incite, Richie Cavalera, as well as the birthday boy.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it, man. Falling on Brooklyn, it kicked ass on a Saturday. It's going to be insane.
Yeah, I mean, this might be your last interview, sadly, because we're probably going to get totally messed up after this.
Oh, it's going to be bad, man. Hangover City, but, we got a short drive and everything we're lined up perfectly, man. Like,
Yeah.
It never does for us, but it did for once, so it's cool.
Yeah, you're parked outside conveniently, and you're driving tonight too, right?
No, not me, man. I did the morning shift so I could have complete night off, morning off, everything. So I'm going to get fucking crazy.
Oh, it's going to be awesome. I mean, you never leave Duff's alive. That's the whole point.
No, and to go there, anytime is awesome, but let alone on my birthday and then I share a birthday with him, it's going to be epic.
Yeah, shout out to Jimmy Duff. We're coming after you as well.
Yep.
You never let me buy you shots tonight, any other night, but you bet your ass it's happening tonight.
Yeah, I got to take one with him last time. That was pretty cool.
Yeah. But moving on to everything Incite related, because it's been about 2 years since the release of Oppression, which is your latest full-length record, and congratulations, SiriusXM just put out your newest single, Ruthless Ways.
Yeah, dude, stoked on that. I mean, by the time this thing actually comes out, it's almost going to be 3 years, which we were proud of. I think nowadays it's all about just the fast, get it out there. And with this one, we were finally able to just, let's sit back. Let's write a good fucking album from top to bottom. Let's all be happy. And that's what I think we got with this one. And I think people are hearing it with the first single, like you said, Ruthless Ways. It's massive. It's huge, in your face, crazy cool chorus that everybody can feel. And it's just about, people just these days tearing you down for anything you do, man. It's like you can't say anything, do anything, be anything without getting torn down from some angle. So that's kind of what this song was attributed to.
Yeah. What's really cool, were you intending to make a direct follow-up to Oppression, or do you think that this newest record kind of stands out in its own entity?
I think that's what you'll find with every album, is that we kind of grow and feed off of the one from before. So I think any listener that's heard any Incite album, you'll know it's us. But I think when you get to production, performance of each member, and the soloing is, we almost have a solo on every single song, but it's not that, shred fast as you can type of stuff that kind of is the popular thing to do. Drew comes from a very classical, trained in violin when he was growing up, and
that always helps.
It totally turned into the way his solos are, man. They stick in your head. They're very stadium solos, as I like to call them. It's dope, man, and I think people are gonna fucking be very fired up with this record.
Yeah. So you kind of in a way just answered my next question, talking about the guitar soloing and everything, because is there ever something that comes first, or does each song call for a new approach?
Well, now with this one, it was a little different. This was Drew's first full album where he's written. Oppression, he did half, and then our former writer and guitarist Dis did. So this time it was let him take the full reins, and we just let him explore what he wanted to do with the guitar, man. And then we just kind of came in. Lennon put some of the best work I've heard on a metal album in years. I mean, it's all natural. Every take we did was real. There's no copy paste. There's no Pro Tool edit crap. It's just 100% authentic Incite. And I think the guitar it crushed on this album. So we all had to step up our game. And, working with Steve Evans again was killer. That guy's fucking awesome.
Can't go wrong with that. So being that, does Incite prefer to maybe experiment and maybe incorporate many different elements, or do you guys like to kind of stick with a formula and have a signature sound throughout your whole discography?
I think we've definitely found our sound. I think the first two albums were so different from each other, to when you got this new lineup that's been more consistent, has been around longer than any lineup I've ever had. We're on our third album now together, so now it's more just expanding off of what we did. We don't want to recreate our album. I think one thing you'll always notice with our entire catalog is every album is very solid. There's a consistency that we produce that, I don't know if it's by chance or just by mental note or whatever it is, but, we've always found ourselves to really just be what we are and just kind of add to it. You know, like I said, the solo progression over each album, you'll notice from like 1 solo on the first album to 9 on this one. You know, so it's definitely there, but it's Incite from beginning to end, and constant growth as we get better and get older and, you know, understand more about music.
Yeah, excellent. Now, for you being a vocalist, do you need to maybe? I'm always curious because with vocals, like you're not just going up there singing and screaming, because vocals have to like maybe sometimes adjust to the music, and you know you're thinking of lyrics and everything like that. Do you need to, as a vocalist, do you need to like hear music in order to come up with lyrics, or sometimes does like a lyrical concept ever determine like the music?
The way I've always written was just kind of spontaneous. You know, I'll be in my car driving once I know we're in that writing mode, I'm constantly on my phone writing notes, writing lyrics anytime I think of them, and then I think it kind of grows into what it does once I have the music, and you know, kind of place certain things to the music, and it always lines up the way it was designed to be, I guess, not by me, but by some power, you know, just ends up showing me which song is right for each other. You know, it's weird how it works out, but it's a frustrating process, man.
Yeah.
You know, I'm very crucial on myself, so I always wonder if I'm like, am I being metal enough? Am I being too soft? Am I being just the same topic? You know, so I always want to be different, and I always want everything to be very passionate, and I think each album's just kind of been how I feel at the time, you know, lyric wise.
Interesting. Do you ever like look back at the songs that you've written and be like, wow, I'm completely different now than I was back then? Like, do you notice your growth?
Like we're playing a lot of Slaughter on this one, you know, it's like the 10-year anniversary next year of it coming out, so to play some of those when I think I was like 24 when that came out, you know, I'm 33 now, so it's like I was a pissed off, horny, druggy, fucking gambling just mess, and I was just angry, you know, and I wanted to kill everybody, and that was kind of where I was with that. And now I think you notice on this album it's a little more matured, you know, it's fighting for the planet's destruction. I think a lot of the topics with this album, you know, it's something that an adult says, but everybody feels, you know, so that was the cool thing with it.
Oh, that's an interesting way of putting it. You know, because as a kid, you know, you always want to kill everybody. As an adult, you still want to kill everybody, but you'll be a little more you'll be a little more politically correct about it.
Yes, exactly.
Like, instead of being like, I'm gonna freaking kill you, you're gonna say, I'm gonna end your life unlawfully.
I mean, there might be one cuss word on the whole album, but
that's impressive.
It's very vulgar still. You know, it's like, I think that's one thing I've learned through each album too, growing up, is just the lyric writing process, you know, how to make things impact more with less. Yeah. You know, and I think that's what we did on this one.
And did, as the years when you brought in new members and everything, did maybe that help you expand what you were able to do vocally?
Definitely, especially with like L, you know, he was kind of over my shoulder, just like, dude, don't worry about anything. Don't worry about what people think. Just write what you feel. And, you know, I think for the last 2 records, it's made me a lot more comfortable, and some of the previous members, you know, were kind of just over your shoulder the whole time. And with this, it's like we let everybody do what they're supposed to do. Like, he's the bass player. You play bass. I don't need to tell you what to do, you know. If I was a bass player, then, you know, that'd be my job. But
yeah,
we want everybody to be their dude, man.
And not like too many cooks in the kitchen, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And, you know, no one in this band is a hired gun, which I think makes the whole atmosphere from the beginning different. You know, they all have ownership stake in this band. If it does better than it did before, you know, they see wins from that just like I do. So I think that first and foremost is what's propelled the growth of our band, you know.
Excellent. And one other question I was really curious about with Incite is you guys have toured with a variety of different bands, I noticed. Like, from following you guys, you just did a tour with Brujeria. Yeah. You just did a tour with Crowbar. I mean, that's fairly different right there, playing with Tombs. You're doing this headline run now. Yeah. Do you notice maybe like a different reaction, or do you maybe kind of like adjust your set list depending on who you play with?
See, that's what's cool right there, is we can do that. Always adjusting our set list, man. Like when we played, so we did 2 tours in Europe, and they were back-to-back. The first one was Gorgoroth in Incite. I mean, you're talking black metal, corpse paint, and they're moshing and throwing their horns up to Incite. You know, and I think that just all comes from we're all metalheads, no matter what you play. But if you have that passion up there and that energy and that just raw emotion, people can feel that, man. And they just, once that is vibed out between you two, it doesn't matter what scene you are, man. And, you know, we went from Gorgoroth, and then the next tour was El Nino, which is like young kids jump metal. And we just were like, you know, fuck this, we're going to kill them too. We just have this idea that, you know, if we needed to right now, we could go play with the Deftones. And if we had to the day after that, we could go play with Lamb of God.
Which is awesome.
And we'll kick ass, and we'll win fans over from each show, and that's what's cool, you know.
That's like the beauty of it. I almost feel like when a band plays with a variety of different bands, it almost seems like it's a different experience every time too. You know what I mean? Like,
totally.
I'm not going to mention names, but you know, you get like a traditional death metal band, and they'll probably only play with other death metal, which is fine. You know,
and being an artist, you have to adapt, man. Like, you'll notice if I was on tour with, you know, Tangner Cavalry, my crowd
Shout out to
speeches,
Nature.
yeah, my crowd speeches on that one aren't going to be the same as when I'm out with Devil Driver, you know. So I've learned to adapt to that and make it work. And, you know, my big thing on, you know, Gorgoroth is, you know, we're all part of metal, man, no matter what you play. And those guys are some of the coolest dudes ever for giving us that chance. And
Gorgoroth is the best.
Oh, dude, it was mind fuck every day. It was incredible.
Did you wear corpse paint for that?
No, but I pretty much ended up with it on me every night, man, just from broing out and just getting wasted with those guys, man. I mean, I've never partied so hard or had more fun on a tour in my entire life.
Go on tour with Watain, and then you'll have a better story. I don't know if Mark's ever told you the story when they came to Duff's that one time.
I don't even. I'm getting too old for that shit now, man. I just want to drink my whiskey and smoke endless pot.
Please tell me you wrote a song about that.
You know, a little bit. They're all attributed to weed in some way or another. You know, it's who I am.
And, well, hey, that's the best. You write according to who you are, right?
Yeah, and I've always tried to do that, man.
Yeah.
You know, always write my own lyrics, write everything, let it be from my heart. That way it's more passionate on stage, you know.
And people could definitely tell.
Hell yeah.
So before we go, I want to thank you so much for your time. And it's your birthday, so.
Hey, thank you, man.
Yeah, and we're going to do shots pretty much right after this.
And you rule, man. Always supporting metal. And doing
thank you, man.
Without you guys, we're a wheel, man. Without you guys, we're all fucked.
Thanks.
So.
Thanks, man. It means a lot.
Mad respect.
But Ruthless Ways just premiered today on SiriusXM.
Yep.
Shout out to Jose and Sean and everybody at Sirius. But when can we be expecting the new album, if you're allowed to tell me?
Yeah, so we got a little bit of a schedule figured out now. So Ruthless Ways will be available for purchase and download and all that stuff coming September 7th.
Oh,
so
that's my birthday.
Oh, well, they're hitting all the birthdays, man. And then we have 2 videos. They're going to be out October, December, and that is with Tommy Jones, man. This guy's a killer. He came in. We went to the Skid Row in L.A., man, and made one of the most fucking badass metal videos. No gimmick, no bullshit, just metal and fucking hair and kicking ass. And then I think January next year the album will come out. So we're stoked.
And you also, because this is going to be uploaded in like 2 hours, but like you're finishing this tour with Lodicon, right?
Yeah, we're on the Burn and Shred tour. You know, we're coming to a lot of cities still. We have over 30 shows. West Coast, everything in between. Full Terror Assault Festival. Wrapping up, man. Come out, Burn and Shred. December, we'll see in Europe with 6 Feet Under. It's going to kick ass. Round 2 with those guys.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah,
classic death metal.
That's my dude, man. We brought him in on the new album, too, man. He fucking destroyed it on this thing. It's just insane.
I can't wait to hear it.
It's nasty, man.
Wow. Well, awesome, man. Thank you so much for your time. And by you saying that saved me from saying, go check them out on this. But everybody, we are here with Richie Cavalera of Incite. Be sure to be on the lookout for their new album. From what he was telling me, it sounds fucking awesome already. This is Alex from Heavy New York, everybody. We will see you next time. Now it's time to party.
Yep. Fucking A.